Automatic storage table spaces significantly reduce the management costs associated with storage. You can specify a single set of storage paths for an automatic storage managed database. If you want to take advantage of drives with different quality of service levels to implement a tiered storage solution, you must learn about the storage group enhancements introduced in DB2 version 10.1. Data in a data warehouse can be classified according to its temperature. The temperature of data is based on how often it is accessed, how volatile it is, and how important the performance of the queries that access the data is. Hot data is frequently accessed and updated. Users expect optimal performance when accessing this data. Cold data is rarely accessed and updated, and the performance of the queries that access this data is not essential. Each storage group can have its own set of storage paths that have unique characteristics. You can define which table spaces reside in each storage group, and specify which tables or table partitions reside in a particular table space. Using faster, more expensive storage devices for hot data, and slower, less expensive storage devices for cold data optimizes the performance of the queries that matter most, while helping to reduce overall cost. In this example, we create two database managed table spaces and a sales table that is partitioned by date range. Each table partition is in a different table space. The storage paths view in the lower panel shows the storage groups and paths in the database. Note that only the system default storage group exists. This is the application simulator we are using for this demonstration. Two sales transaction activities, namely the current sales transaction and the old sales transaction, are now started. The workload details view in the lower panel shows workload and service class details about the applications that are running in the database. Next, you create storage groups to take advantage of automatic storage and multiple tiers of storage. Storage groups make up storage paths that can be on different physical disks. By mapping table spaces to these storage groups, the location of the data is optimized. In the lower panel, it shows that the new storage groups are created. Note that the newly created storage paths are not in use yet. To link the table space to the storage group, you must first alter the table spaces to be managed by automatic storage, and then assign the table spaces to use the storage groups. If you want the table space to inherit the media attributes of its storage group, use the overhead and transfer rate inherit option. The rebalance operation moves the containers of the table spaces into the storage group's storage paths. In the lower panel, it shows the status of the rebalance operation that is currently running. The operation is a background process. Data remains online for transactions as shown in the throughput graphs. On the graphs, you can see that the throughput of the current sales transactions has increased because the most recent data is stored on fast storage devices. Notice that the storage groups is now in use. There are cases where you want to introduce new storage devices to increase the storage capacity of the table space. You can easily achieve that by adding storage paths to the storage group as shown here. A rebalance operation is an optional step to use the new paths immediately. If you do not perform a rebalance operation at this stage, the existing data continues to reside in its existing location. Its necessity depends on the need to use the new hardware devices. Transaction throughput may or may not be affected immediately. You have seen the benefits of the DB2 multi-temperature storage capability. We will now show how you can use the IBM Data Studio and InfoSphere Optim Configuration Manager to configure and manage a multi-temperature storage scheme. IBM Data Studio provides a single integrated environment for database administration and application development. Data Studio allows you to manage database objects such as storage groups and table spaces. You can enable multi-temperature storage to existing table spaces by altering them to use automatic storage. Then you assign a storage group to the table space. You can also choose to inherit I/O settings from the storage group and customize the storage characteristics accordingly. Optim Configuration Manager records and analyzes activities in your data systems. You can optimize how the storage devices that host the database are used by configuring a job that regularly migrates table spaces to storage groups based on the temperature of the data. Type a name for the new job. Select Data Migration as the job type. Select the database and tables that have data you want to migrate. On the Definition tab, specify the age ranges of data that you want to be stored in each storage group. In our example, the most recent 3 months data will be stored in the High Performance Storage group. Any data older than 3 months will be stored in the Low Performance Storage group. Schedule to run the job when you expect infrequent database access. Check the job log history to ensure successful execution of the statements. In this video, you have seen the benefits of the DB2 multi-temperature storage capability, which enables you to implement a tiered storage solution. You can also use the Data Studio and Optim Configuration Manager to configure and manage the multi-temperature storage scheme. For more information on DB2, visit www.ibm.com/db2.